As I've been helping people from both inside and outside the country relocate to Chattanooga, Cleveland, and all these small towns all over Southeast Tennessee, I have noticed something that surprises a lot of folks a few months after they get here. Some of it's great, and some of it is not so great. It's how all these little monthly costs add up differently than what they might have expected. And in 2026, a few of those numbers have shifted in ways that really matter if you're planning a move. I'm Chris Roberts, your Southeast Tennessee relocation realtor, and today we're going to talk about the cost of living in our area as we head into 2026. We're going to cover baseline costs that everybody pays, different home price ranges, and what life actually costs at each level. And then we'll take a look at Chattanooga versus Cleveland and a comparison that could save you tens of thousands of dollars over the next decade. If you're in research mode, go ahead and grab my free relocation guide that's right below in the description. It's going to cover things like healthcare, neighborhoods, and a lot of the details that you need to make a confident move. And if you're ready to have a conversation about living your best life in Chattanooga and Cleveland, then go ahead and give me a call or text me anytime. My contact info is right here on the screen in front of you. And just a little disclaimer, all of these prices that I'm going to talk about today are current as of December 2025. They'll likely change as time goes on. All right, let's talk about one of Tennessee's biggest draws, and that is the taxes. Tennessee has no state income tax. You've probably heard that a jillion times, but let me show you an example of what it actually looks like. If you're moving from Georgia, just 20 minutes south, you're paying 5.75% state income tax. California could be 9 to 13%, depending on your bracket. And in New York, 4 to almost 11%. That is going to be money that stays in your pocket here with every paycheck. Go ahead and run your own numbers. Take your gross income, multiply it by your current state tax rate, and that's what you're going to keep if you move here. For relocating clients, we're talking $5,000 to $20,000 per year, depending on your income level. I'm a perfect example of this. Megan and I lived in Ringgold, Georgia, and we both worked up here in Cleveland, Tennessee for years. And we finally decided to buy a house and move into Tennessee, and it was like an instant upgrade in income. That bonus came from simple geography. Now for the Cleveland versus Chattanooga comparison, let's take a comparable home, say 2,200 square feet, 4 bedrooms, newer construction, similar finishing. In Chattanooga, we'll say in the Brainerd area, that's going to be running about $480,000. And in the north part of Cleveland, we're going to be looking at about $440,000. Now, that's a $40,000 difference for a very similar home. That mortgage difference is going to be roughly $275 a month. The property tax could be about $75 a month. Insurance is really going to be minimal savings, so we're going to look at roughly $350 a month for your savings living in Cleveland versus in Chattanooga. But Cleveland isn't just cheaper than Chattanooga. It's a different lifestyle. Chattanooga is going to give you that city vibe while still feeling manageable. And Cleveland is going to give you more space for your money. That small town feel where you know your neighbors. We've got major employers like Mars, Duracell, Whirlpool, and we've got less traffic, some predictable commutes, and Chattanooga is only 35 minutes away when you want it. So the question isn't which is better, it's what do you want your daily life to look like and which of these serves it better? Now, in these different price tiers, that mid-market sweet spot at $400,000 to $500,000, you're getting newer construction, better finishes, and more amenities. Think Ottawa, North Hickson, parts of Signal Mountain, and newer Cleveland developments. You're looking at 2,000 to 2,500 square feet, 4 to 5 bedrooms, and your monthly cost of mortgage, taxes, and insurance for a $450,000 home, going to be around $2,700 to $3,000 per month. Property taxes in Chattanooga's city limits could run you about $3,000 annually, and in Cleveland's city limits is going to be running you around $2,500 to $2,800 annually. Now, some neighborhoods have HOA fees, which can range from $30 a month to $150 a month or more. Your total monthly housing costs in this mid-range price tier, you're going to be looking at $3,400 to $4,300 a month. Add the baseline cost, and we're looking between $5,000 and $6,000 a month total. Now, the upmarket experience at $550,000 to $650,000, you're going to get Signal Mountain proper, parts of Lookout Mountain, premium Ottawa lots, custom builds, or significantly more space in Cleveland with acreage. We're talking 2,800 to 3,500 square foot, high-end finishes, bigger lots, and better views. Your monthly cost with mortgage, taxes, and insurance at a $600,000 house, you could be looking at around $4,000 to $5,000 a month. Now, property taxes in Chattanooga city limits is going to run $3,300 to $4,000 annually, with some could push past $4,000 a year. And in Cleveland's city limits, $600,000 homes are going to sit around $3,000 annually. So our total monthly housing costs are going to be looking at $4,500 to $6,000. Adding in those baseline costs, you're going to be between $6,000 and $7,500 a month. Now, let me walk you through some costs that often surprise relocators, things that you might not think about if you're coming from a different region. We've got pest control. Now, this is the South, and we've got bugs. Good pest control is going to run you $30 to $40 a month. Termite bonds, add another $300 to $400 annually. And you've got HVAC maintenance because you're going to be running your AC hard for 5 to 6 months out of the year. So twice annual HVAC services, they're going to run about $200 to $300 total annually. Skip it and you'll end up paying way more when your system dies in July. Trust me, I've been there. Now, for flood insurance, you can check firststreet.org and FEMA maps before you make an offer. Flood insurance can run $400 to $2,000 or more annually, depending on your zone. And if you're not mowing your own lawn, professional service runs $120 to $200 a month during the growing season, which is March through October. Or you could even ask your neighbor's kids if they want to earn a little bit extra money in the summer. Do kids still even do that? And your paint is going to weather faster. Wood decks, they're going to need more frequent sealing, and gutters, they're going to need cleaning more often. So here's my framework. Can you cover your mortgage, utilities, and the baseline costs of living while still saving 10 to 15% for retirement and emergencies? Taking some well-deserved time off once or twice a year? Maintaining your home properly? If yes, you're in the right price range. If you're stressed about every $100 cost, you could be looking at just too much house. And while the numbers matter, they're not the whole story. What makes Southeast Tennessee special isn't that everything is cheap, because it's not always the case. It's that your money can go further while your quality of life stays high. You can afford the house, the lifestyle, and the savings. And truth be told, the gap is getting tighter here, especially when you're looking inside the city limits. When you're here, instead of a city like Atlanta or Chicago, your commute is going to be 20 to 30 minutes instead of 90. You're spending $3,000 a year on property taxes instead of $15,000. You're keeping that state income tax money, and you're not sacrificing. You've got incredible outdoor access, a food scene that rivals cities much larger than Chattanooga, and the Tivoli Theater is going to be reopening. The Riverwalk, Rock City, Ruby Falls, the list just keeps going. And if you choose Cleveland, you get even more space, lower costs, and Chattanooga's only 35 minutes away, and Knoxville is just over an hour away when you want that city experience. So what should you do next? Here's the reality of living in Southeast Tennessee in 2026. Your baseline costs are pretty reasonable and significantly lower than a lot of major metros. Your housing costs scale with what you buy, but even at the higher end, you're getting more value than in most markets. And that tax advantage, that's real money every single month. Whether you're looking at a $250,000 starter home in Cleveland, a $450,000 mid-market home in Ottawa, or a $600,000 or more custom build on Signal Mountain, the math works here. If you're thinking about relocating, let's talk. I'm a licensed realtor here, and I would love to help you figure out what area fits you and your family, not just where you can afford to buy. So go ahead, download my free relocation guide that's in the description. It covers healthcare, schools, neighborhoods, and the practical stuff that's helpful to know before you make the move. But let me know in the comments what surprised you the most about these numbers. And be sure to subscribe, as I'm always sharing information on how you can live your best life here in Chattanooga and Cleveland, Tennessee.